Hello, beautiful people. My name is Grace So Amazing. So I want to invite you to be a part of my inner circle. Alright, so I am a life and personal development coach. What I do is I help people build systems. And what I mean by building systems is something that looks like habits that can help you achieve your goals in 3 critical areas of your life. I'm very, very particular about health and wellness, relationship and family, and career and business. Look, I understand what it means to struggle in all these areas that I have just mentioned, and I am willing to show you how to navigate through tough times. I've been there, and I'm also certified to help you navigate through these trying times. Do not take my word for it. All you need to do is click the link that you can see below and be a part of my inner circle. See you.
Here are some characteristics of intuition: is immediate understanding. Number one, immediate understanding. So in your intuition, when you get it's more like you get an insight into an idea or an event that is about to happen, and immediately you just understand it without you necessarily thinking about it. And sometimes it is even difficult to explain. Also, intuition rides on emotion, right? It rides on emotion. It has some emotional components to it, right? So it is closely tied to our emotion, and sometimes it can manifest in feelings, and these feelings can be comfortable or uncomfortable. Why is it important that we begin to pay attention to the intuition, or how can we use it or leverage it for our own personal growth? Right? Number one is you need to trust it. I've had several episodes myself, with relation to my intuition.
Stretch Street Podcast.
Hello, beautiful people. Today I am the face you're seeing. Usually you'd see the energetic EJ doing this, but I'm doing it today. Even though I am not alone, she's going to join us soon. But I want to use this opportunity to say, hello, how are you? How was your weekend? What did you do this weekend? And what was that one thing that you did last week? Last week we talked about that one valuable thing that you are about, that one valuable thing that you are known for, that thing that once they see you, they know that this person brings this value. For me, this weekend was interesting. I did art therapy, I did a lot. But I'm not going to be here alone. Last week, the conversation was around embracing your singlehood, and we had a lady, she joined us. Today, we have someone that would be having this conversation with. And trust me, we're like, we want to hear from a guy's perspective. And we're glad to announce to you that yes, today we have a guy joining us, and I'm going to allow him introduce himself. His name is Adah. He'll be joining us, and we'll be hearing from his own perspective what it means to embrace or optimize singlehood. Remember, it's February, and our theme for the month is love is in the air. So I'll just bring in the guest, and also expect the energetic EJ to join us in a jiffy. So right about now, Efe will be joining us, and the energetic EJ, will be joining us as well. But before they come on board, I want to know if anybody's watching and if anybody's seeing this right now, because this information the information we'll be sharing today is going to be very important. You know, we talked a lot about fantastic. If you're enjoying this, please, please again, share this link with someone that should be here, and be rest assured that they will gain something. Right. So, Efe is here.
Hi,
Hello. How
hi,
are
Grace.
you, Efe? How are you
Hi,
doing?
hi, Grace. Good afternoon. I'm doing fine, and you?
I'm doing
Fine.
amazing. Okay, so the energetic EJ usually ushers us in. So she's not here today. So it's a bit awkward for me, but I'm loving it. We're born to do this. So I'd love for
Yeah.
you to introduce yourself quickly before we get into the matter of the day.
Okay, so first and foremost, good afternoon, everyone. I feel privileged to be called on this platform to share my thoughts and ideas concerning embracing singlehood and all that. My name remains Efe Adah. I'm a HSC professional on a full-time basis. I'm also an educator and entrepreneur, and more or less like a speaker where I get called to talk on different topics with respect to parenting, lifestyle, career choices, and the likes. So I basically help out in giving counsels with respect to different things. Then I also run an educational outfit called Smart Mind Tutors, where we provide home tutoring services, online tutoring services, and also curriculum and extracurricular activities for kids with the aim of bringing the best out of them. So that's all about me.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So last week, so this is really interesting because I wish we had, a lady and a guy. Well, I'm a lady, but what I mean is I'll be asking the both of you. But today you're here alone, and I'm sure it will even make more sense because last week, let me give you a short description of what we talked about last week before I ask you the question I have for you. So last week we brought someone in and we wanted to understand, so February, love, 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 love. Everybody just shouting love, love, love is in the air and all that. So this month we decided to come. We started with our first episode was on self-love, understanding why it is important to love yourself. And then the second week we brought a lady, and she told us about, although she's in a relationship, but she's single but in a relationship. She shared her views on why it is important to embrace being single and maximize it. So it was
Mm.
from the female perspective. So today we want to understand from a guy's perspective. What does it even mean to embrace singlehood? What does it mean if you were to answer that question, which is what you'll be doing now? What does it mean to embrace singlehood?
Well, for me, what it means to be embracing good is to embrace yourself. From the word single, that's basically a unit. You are a unit. And for me, it's about embracing yourself and pushing out to find purpose and to fulfill purpose. We are all born in this world for a reason. There's a reason why you were not born in 1970. There's a reason why you were not born in 2014. There's a reason why you were not born in 2024. Or there's also a reason why you were actually born. So embracing singlehood for me is finding your purpose in Christ. That's personal to me, you understand? Because you came at a particular point in time. Why didn't you come in the time of the ancient Greeks? Why didn't you come in the time of the Romans? Why didn't you come in all those AD and BC calculations of year? But you came at the time that you came. So embracing singlehood is embracing your adulthood and your responsibilities and everything that comes with it. You understand? And in the journey of life, I know that there's that place where we desire to be double, as if permit me to use that word, or we desire to be in partnership with someone. Because for me, I feel that adulthood becomes complex as you grow. And that's why it's
Mm,
important that at some point, maybe these are the things that God foresaw. And that's why I said it's not good for man to be alone. You understand? So that's why it's now said that at some point, man should be able to find a partner, because in the adulthood of life, things become more complex. Things
mm,
requires partnership to be able to solve. You understand? There's a result you get when more than one person is getting involved in solving the complexity of life. But then before you get there, you must be a particular content. You must be able to accept you and accept your situation. You understand? So that's what singlehood is for me. Before I settle down to marry, I must be able to embrace and enjoy where I am, what I am, and also fulfill the purpose to the best of my abilities. So that's what says. So, in simple terms, embracing singlehood is embracing yourself and fulfilling purpose in Christ. That's it for me.
fantastic, beautiful answer. And why we decided to talk about this thing is because some people are in a rush. Okay, there's usually there's this saying that there's time for everything, right? And some people get to a certain age, and the next thing is I should be married. I should be married. That's the cocoa. And then they get married and they realize that there's still something about them that is missing. That they thought marriage was going to help them solve that particular issue. And then they get married and still feel empty. So my next question is, what do you think practical things that people that are transitioning or at this stage now that they're not married, but they are definitely on their way to getting married. What are the practical things that they need to start doing or that they should do to help them feel fulfilled so that when they get married, they won't feel like there's something missing, that there's something I need to do. It's like, what do you think in your own? And you're very vast. You work with parents, you work with different people, and you can tell, you can share some of the things that you have learned over the years. So what would you say you would want to share, practical things that you'd love to share for people to be able to optimize while they are single so they don't find themselves wanting when they get married?
Okay, so economics states that man's want is unlimited and man's resources is limited. So we're in a situation where man will always want, and we're in a situation where that want cannot always be met. And that's why it's important that we must understand that a partner doesn't fulfill your unlimited wants. A partner can help you and provide the support to get to where you want to get to, but cannot. Nobody can meet everybody's needs. And that's why we're in a
Mm,
situation where we try to blame the other person. So let's take, for example, like it's just like this caricature that we have in society where you say, oh, like maybe some of the thoughts are like, oh, this man is to meet, like maybe if the man of the house is not meeting certain needs, you now begin to blame him and all that. But you forget that when you were single, you were not also meeting all your needs. You were not
mm,
also meeting all your needs. When you were single, there were times where you were not also happy. So can you also recognize the fact that if you were not also always 100% happy when you were single, it's still possible that when you are married, you are not always going to be happy. But then again, you must also understand that there's the benefit of marrying. Because at times what happens is that we more or less like have certain expectations that are not met in marriage and we now get disappointed. So the same way for the man also. Does the man recognize that there were times where he failed in achieving certain things. Now that he's married, does he not think that because of a woman comes, everything would? No, no. The idea is that at this time, before, when you were single and you were having your downfalls, and you were sharing those pity parts alone. You were sharing those
Mm.
pity parts alone. But now that you are with someone who is a support, you are not sharing the pity parts alone. You are sharing the pity part with someone who is precious to you. It does not eradicate the pity part. It does not eradicate the pity falls. These are things we must be able to understand and recognize. You understand? So, your expectations
That's like
about when you get,
self-awareness. So would that
yes, it
fall
must.
under the category of self-awareness, awareness of, yeah, awareness
Yes,
in
yes.
general.
Within that context, you understand. A woman, if I have a woman in my life now, is not so that why do I say this is my woman? Is a case where I'm making a commitment to this person to see how I can be of support to this person. And this person is making a commitment to me to see how she can be of support to me. Doesn't mean that it eradicates all the downfalls of life. So, for
Mm,
example, now, if
mm,
you were doing a business deal and the business deal didn't go well, as a single person, only you will be having the
mm.
bonds of the deal not going. But when you are married, someone is there to provide the support. Not the person is there to ensure that this thing doesn't happen at all.
Educate.
You understand?
Yeah,
Because
true.
we try to switch
Mm.
all these responsibilities to the other person and we do not recognize reality. That's why at times I don't like to tag myself as a motivational speaker in the sense that I like to face realities. We do not face certain realities and we do not align with certain realities. You understand? So that you have someone in your life doesn't mean that there's an eradication. Then in the process, you must also understand. So that is one, a person cannot fulfill all your needs. If you think it's easy, why have you not fulfilled all your needs? So that is one thing you must understand. A person
Mm.
cannot fulfill all your needs. If you think it was easy, you would have fulfilled all your needs. And you would not, and if we and the thing is this, God intentionally made each of us not perfect so that we can also need each other to get to where we want to get to. So you must
Somebody is saying
understand.
some people, sorry, some people it's their parents that's telling them when is it coming. Easy, mama. Okay, one lady is here saying that it's
Yeah,
their parents. Okay, we'll get to
yes.
that pressure part later. Sorry.
Well, there will always be all those pressures. It's just normal that a parent should care for you and all that. But my point is that you should be able to face certain realities. So, for example, now I have someone that I'm dating now, and I love her so much and whatever thing. But I'm in a case where I've understood the purpose of why we're coming together, companionship and all that. Now, I'm not expecting that all the time she will always be 100% because it is a journey. And in a journey, that is where you have things like discussion, where you have things like, what do you call it now? Things like discussion, or in that journey, that's when you get to understand each other. So I'm over 30. Do I expect someone over 30 and there's a way I've been built? Now, how do I have a relationship now? I marry to probably next year or marry tomorrow and expect that over 30 something years of my life, someone should just come and know over 30 something years of my life. It doesn't just make any sense. So I think that we do
Mm,
not embrace reality in some quarters. Okay, it's just like, for example, now we've all been friends from secondary school days. As much as we even knew each other in 6 years, there are times where you still are our friends, we still fight with each other and have disagreements.
mm.
Now, there are times where your close friends, like those probably that used to walk around with you and all that, there are times they will meet a particular need. There are times they won't meet a particular need. There are some battles you fight alone. There are some battles you fight together. You understand? So the expectations of even God is still God has not even met all our needs.
Talk less
That's
of
the
your
ridiculous
partner.
thing. Yes.
So it's safe to say that we have high expectations, and I love that this conversation is going towards this area because I was going to get there. We'll talk about pressure. But Odinwoma, thanks for always joining us, and we'll get to that pressure part, the pressure part, and
Mm,
how ladies get more heat, the pressure than guys. So I want to even ask you. Do you think guys are pressured in any way to get married as much as women
Who's
are, ladies are pressured?
who is not pressured? I don't. Okay, well, since you are talking about it in comparison, since you are saying
Yes,
about it in
yes,
comparison,
yes.
guys may not be that pressured. And the reason why is because for example, now my grandfather was in his 80s and he still married married a young lady.
Mm.
You understand? But how many ladies in their 80s will still
Would
marry?
want to get married.
You understand? So there is that physiological pressure, psychological pressure, societal pressure that is there. You understand? It's not a nice stuff, but it is what it is. So men get pressured, but not as pressured as women.
Not as
You
much as
understand? Now,
women.
why men at times don't get pressured is a case of where, and at times, apart from that, it just has to do with the making of a man and the making of a woman. So when a man was first
Mm.
created, Adam, the first instruction was given was to do what? The first instruction was given was to take care of the garden. So for us men, if we have work that is bringing money, we will not send anybody about marrying. It that takes at times some of our elders that say, okay, young man, you're already seeing money, you should settle down one thing or the other. But once we have that work, we at times we may care less. Once our work is where our
Mm.
emotions are attached to. You understand? Because it
Okay.
gives us fulfillment. You understand? That's any responsible man. Because these days,
Mm.
I won't like we have a lot of irresponsible men. But that's another
I know.
day's discussion.
Yeah.
So you have those kind of situation. Then for the woman came in as a helper, not a helper to all men, but at that point of being of having a partner, you came as a support system, and that's why you found out
Mm.
that women tend to be attached to relationship. You understand?
Yeah.
Because the moment a woman, he said, I need to create a helpmate. A woman was created from a man for what? For companionship or relationship. Because it was God that said it is not good for man to be alone. So that's why I found out that to an extent, when a woman comes around the guy, he's expecting that, oh, the guy should say something, one thing or the other. It's just the making of a woman, you understand? Because that was one of the first things. A woman is more or less like troubled. In fact, if you say a man and woman relationship are more or less like the man is doing his own part, a woman tends to be more
Yeah.
troubled about what's happening to the relationship, where's it going. She tends to be protective and all that because a man is more protective about his work. Now the dynamics now comes in the woman understanding what's important to this man and to solve his own problems. Then why helping the man to solve his own problem? The man now says, oh, I'm getting strength. Oh, I'm able to do well because of this woman. So those are the some of the dynamics. So yes, women are more pressured than men. But at the same time, men are pressured. Men can be pressured. You understand? At times you see a case of where a man is 40, he can still settle down. In fact, the lady will not mind. He can settle down with a lady that is 25, settle a lady that is this and all that. So men are pressured, but may not be as women because of the all
Mm.
the variables and dynamics to these things.
Awesome. 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 Now, so I like when you said something around um guys. Maybe you're dating. The guy is usually, focused. He's looking at his work and what he wants to achieve to feel fulfilled, while the lady is more this relationship. I want this with where are we going? Most times, where are we going? Now, as a cheat to all the lovely ladies, I'm sure they will like ask him that question, ask him that question. When people are in a relationship and the guy is in a relationship with a girl and the girl is wondering, when will this guy pop the question? Or she's saying to herself, what are we even doing here? What are the things? So this is like a cheat code now to ladies out there. You said one already, that if you find strength in your partner, which is what women are basically out to do to help their partner, and I think it's a vice versa thing, to help each other. But there are some things that will be outstanding that a guy would see in the lady he's probably dating and would help him make up his mind quickly. And then there are some things that the guy might see in the lady that would make him make up his mind not to be with that particular lady. So I'd love for you to share some of those things I would rather call them cheat codes that can help ladies watching and be like, okay, let me hear. Even though there are several things for different people, but this can help in a way.
Okay, so firstly, I want to put a disclaimer because
Okay,
in today's world, you have a
different
lot
things.
of different guys, sincerely, and I won't
True.
want to be biased. I won't want to be biased. What the truth of the matter is that, well, at times, maybe because of also the economy, you understand?
Mm,
Because any responsible man, I tell people, or I used to do state to my girlfriend that after missing heaven, my greatest fear is not providing for my family. I don't want to ever be,
mm,
I don't want to think about how that situation is. I do not want to. You understand? So maybe because of how the economy is, and some people are trying to put things in place, but it varies among different men. You understand? Now, I mentioned something like, okay, a man feels fulfillment and all that. I think one of the things is that if a man is able, or let me just speak from our perspective, then people can get certain things out of it. So I, for one, a woman that is able to organize me is key for me. A woman that, now there's also that place of love language, you understand? A woman that is able to add to my work. You understand? A man feels as fulfillment from his work. That is why at times when a guy hits some kind of contract, money is coming, he's merry, he takes this person out. Oh yeah, just barman, serve everybody this thing. He's merry because his work is well. You understand?
yeah.
But if his work is not well, you find out that he's edgy, you more or less like he's not talking to you. Now think that he's meeting another lady. I mean, at times it may just be his
My
work and
work
all
is
that.
bothering
One
him.
of the things, yes, it's because he's thinking of what next to do. How does he want to get money and all?
Mm,
A man that, for a responsible man, and I'll continue using that word responsible, and I don't want to generalize it. And because of the street is mad, the street is crazy.
yeah,
So
true.
a woman that can add value to a man goes a long way. You know, when we talk about this debate of what a woman brings to the table, we'll continue to
Mm,
debate it, you understand? But most times, because of some ladies are materialistic, they don't understand the ideology in it. I've had a girlfriend that I think she just finished NYC then, and I didn't care if she was going to bring anything because that lady was resourceful.
mm,
This is a lady that want to talk about how you want to buy something from the market, and probably you want to buy it ready-made. And this lady is telling you that I can. There's no need to do this ready-made. Let's go to the market. I'll be able to do this, and you can get it in a cheaper rate. That's being
mm,
resourceful. Being resourceful is a lady that can give you a number to probably the FRSCN, and you're trying to get your license, and you get it within a jiffy. That is resourcefulness. That saves you time. That saves you money. So at times it's not all about whether how much you are bringing
how
on a monthly
sexy,
basis.
how beautiful, how
Now
hot.
that is part of it. I won't even lie. Me is part of it.
I thought it would
I
only
can,
be resourcefulness.
personally for me, no, personally for me, I personally for me, I don't want to be looking outside. So I want to be sure that what can
My face
distract
is
me
hot.
outside, I have it. They say waiting day for Sokoto, a day for Shokoto. So I don't want to be distracted. So I don't
Mm.
mind my lady. Just be a balance. Be a balance of. I'm a balance. I'm a balance.
You're a
I more or
fine
less like
boy.
package myself
You're
based.
a fine boy. The people that saw the flyer say, who is this fine dude? I'm like, yeah, it's fine. Yeah. So I
Ah,
understand what you're saying. Go
fine
ahead,
boy
go ahead.
without money. Is it like that? So my point is that so what can a woman add value, be open to communication, and see, don't allow any guy waste your time. That's what I would advise. I'll continue to say the street is not smiling. Any guy,
Mm,
see, the growing of a relation, there is where every each level, as I said though, because this, I personally advise any lady to go all the way. You understand? And that's why it's good that you are a giver as a lady. Because if you are a giver, there are things you can give to a guy or to give to a boyfriend that more or less like is what you could give to anybody. Why I'm saying that is so that when to an extent, I for one, if I love you, I can go the extreme. But me, I know I've already made up my mind that if it doesn't go well, I'm ready to forgo. I can do that. I'm a guy. You understand? But at times for ladies, it's kind of very sensitive. If a lady meets me and probably she's my girlfriend, I know that she's not going to have any loss, because even me myself, I'm careful at the length I'm able to allow you to go for me, especially when we're in a time where I've not ascertained where this thing is going. But the street is not smiling. So the idea is be of value. Be of value. Understand the person's love language and be of value. It cannot be because of just how sexy you are. Do you know why? There is never the finest girl in the world. There is never.
Absolutely.
There is
You
never.
see one that's hotter than the one that
And
hotter than the one
and
that's
that's why it's
hotter than the
important.
one that you know.
Yes, that's why it's important that a lady also is not just all about the materialistic thing. Because if it's about that, you always see a guy richer than your present guy. You always see. So if you don't put those values there, it will not be about the highest bidder.
Hmm.
It will be about the highest bidder. And that's why, as a man, too, you at some point you must be able to state that, oh, this is what I want and I'm sticking to it. Because you always see a lady that is more beautiful. So imagine if you are meet every lady that is more beautiful and hotter than your girlfriend, you're
You
not going
just
to
be
meet.
calling.
You
No
understand?
stop.
Now, these things are not easy, but they are the facts and they are the realistic part of life. So, what are the things that a man should, first and foremost, I always advise once you are above 30 and a lady is above, once you are above 30 as a lady, automatically you may be dating someone that is your age mate or above 30, so in 30s. I don't believe a relationship should be more than one year, 1.5. People should be able to know what you want to do. If you're in your 20s, fine. I understand. Maybe due to one thing is not available or the other,
To
or
work
you
it
people
out.
have not still understood. But if you're above 30, you have already matured. I don't see any reason. It shouldn't be, it cannot be more than 2 years. You shouldn't be in that situation. You understand?
Okay, so
I'm
that
saying
that for people dating that like 2 years, you've been in a relationship for 2 years. It doesn't make sense. So now this is
I'm
not
saying
cast
I'm
on
saying
a disclaimer.
I'm putting an age range cap to this. I
Okay,
said once you are 30 and above,
okay.
to an extent, there is a level of
Mm,
maturity that is already expected. You
absolutely.
cannot be in a relationship for more than 2 years. It doesn't make any sense.
Mm,
My opinion,
yeah.
and I put a disclaimer to it. You are matured, he is matured. You should be doing something, she should be doing something. So what is keeping that thing for that this thing? Because the ladies, as I said, the physiological pressure, psychological pressure, and all that. So you have to be
Biological,
able
yeah.
to, yes, you have to be able to make up your mind. Where is this thing going to? What are we going to be doing? When are we going to be doing what we are going to be doing? You understand? So, what are the things? Throw value. Throw value. If you have value, do your own shit. A man's business is very, very paramount. Before you come to, if you are adding value to his work and you are adding value to him, you are adding value to his home, he will love you. Then you are homely. As I said, things that I wrote down. So that's why I say it varies. You understand? I like a lady that's
Mm,
ambitious because, for example, I like a lady that's ambitious. It may not be ambitious as per career, but you want to improve. Because I know that as you want to improve, you won't mind improving on me. I don't have an issue with that. You understand? So I like a lady that is organized. That's personal to me because I don't think I'm organized. I don't want to have a home where I'm disorganized, the lady is disorganized, and this thing. So these are some of the things there. It varies, you understand, it varies. But the things that a lady may need to consider is probably the guy's love language, the guy's personality, the guy's character. These are things to discuss. Personality is different from character. Personality is different from character. Background. You can't joke with background.
yeah.
You can't joke with background. Background is
Ah,
critical.
finally, the energetic EJ is here.
My
We'll get
goodness.
back to that part where you talked about personality and character. I would love for you to throw more light. See, you just showed up and
I'm
then one
loving
energy
it.
just entered me. Hey, this is your name.
I'm loving Mr. Efe. It's just a
Oh, no,
drop
don't tell me
bars,
that.
bro. Bro, it's
Like
just a
one.
drop bars. Like I'm like, hey God, oh, why today or for day? Why for drag this usher ray? I for drag her like generator.
I think
Pull out
I
all the
think
value and carry call for us.
I think
We're still on. We're still on. I don't want him to
Wow.
miss that. I don't want him to
The difference
forget
between
that.
personality and character, bros, take it away. Pico.
okay. So in my opinion, and I'll put disclaimers to this thing, but as I said, I always like to face reality. So the background of a person is important. Why is that important? A person who comes from a home where I had this issue with someone where to an extent we were having this debate who should be next of kin, this, that, and all. And what she continued throwing out there is that, oh, I don't mind if my own family members are next of kin, that I won't want to make my husband next of kin because at the end of the day, if I make him next of kin, he will eventually just marry another woman and my children will suffer this, that. And I'm like, well, I find out ridiculous. But in my own understanding, this is a lady who came from a home that the father has more than one wife. So you can understand where this is coming from.
Yeah.
I came from a home where my although I lost my mom when I was early, but it is I and my sister, and I came from a home of love that stayed as love till my mom passed on.
Hmm.
So the dynamics of understanding why should another person come, my father more or less like continued, if not because of us, maybe he would have even killed himself when my mom passed on. You understand? So the dynamics of that love was strong from my background. So that background matters. Imagine a case where a woman or a girl, the first love of a girl is the father, and the father eventually becomes irresponsible and disappoints the family. Now she eventually now starts dating and begins to find love with a boyfriend, and things don't work well, and the guy breaks her heart. So this is a background pattern. So it's now formulating her thoughts, her perspective. So that is why background a lot. Reality as how we do the things we do. And that's why things like who is an introverted person, who is an extroverted person, who is organized, who is disorganized, who makes decisions and all that. So all those things come in place. For example, now I'm an outgoing person, an expressive person. So there are times where I used to be with a girlfriend. Like if we're driving out on a lift, and someone it might be an opposite sex, and I'll talk to you as if I have known you for years. After I
Mm.
talk to you as if I've known you, I'll drop you and don't even ask for your number and let you be. Now, because of she is a reserved person, she's wondering that what will make you want to pick someone and talk with the person, and she'll now begin to think that maybe I want something with the person or it gives room for the, but she's not understanding who is this person. Now, my expressive person is, I go as far as I can see a guy wearing a nice shirt and I'm like, guy, your shirt is nice, guy, you are handsome, but she doesn't understand that. So that's personality. So if she understood the personality that, oh, if he's an expressive person, she will now begin to understand those dynamics. So that's why personality is important. Personality goes as far as when you are how do you get your energy when you are exhausted. So an expressive person, when he's exhausted, he wants to go out and have more fun. And a reserved person, when they are exhausted, they want to stay inside their room and lock the door and off the light and stay there. Have you not seen someone that the person will tell you is tired and you now see the person is inside party and I say, I thought you say you're tired. That's an expressive person. You understand? So the personality matters. Now, personality is not different from character. Character is that habitual action and activity that you have done that has formulated you. So let's put it this way. An expressive person will tell you when, okay, let's take for example, you did something wrong to me. I keep it and later I confront you and tell you these things you did, I did not like it and all that. I could have as well still met you and begin to insult you. You are very, very stupid for what you did. You are a bastard. You are this, you are that, you are that. That is character. So as an expressive person, you have actually expressed yourself. But when you express yourself constructively, it is good character. When you express yourself negatively, it is a bad character. So character is that's what differentiates personality and character. How have you found a way of expressing yourself? Reserved people would not talk. They will just snub you. And they expect that that snubbing to pass the message. So they will avoid you. Like I tell people, silence is clear communication. Silence is communication.
Yeah.
So
It's even
that's why you
louder.
now have to, it's communication. You understand? Silence
It's a
speaks
very
volumes of
loud.
what? It speaks volumes of what? So that's why you now need to put, who is this person? Do I need to? I do tell, who is this person? Who is this person? It's very, very key. Because someone now who sees me, okay, for example, I've had relationship that my girlfriend tells me I talk too much. And I'm like, are you aware that this talking too much is still what puts money in my account? You understand? So I'm able
Like
to
they did
pick
not
out.
inform you too.
So I'm not like, you've not understood me. You've not taken. But me, anytime I'm in a relationship, I get to understand, oh, where is this person's coming from? What's this person's family background? What's this person's experience? What's this person's personality? What's this person's character? Because these are very, so that you are able to understand the dynamics of this thing called love. You say love covers a multitude of sin. Why? Because you are trying to understand. Why is this person this way? What's this person this way? So, to the ladies out there, all I can say is that you need to understand these things. A man who probably a lady broke his heart one time, one thing, he may be carrying one baggage or the other. You don't know, and you now become a victim of it as the person healed. You understand? These are very, very, very critical topics. You understand? Very
Right.
critical.
Thank you so much. Like that's just been very fantastic. I'm curious to know though, because you've just highlighted how you talked about, be understanding and knowing the character of this person and their personality. And I love the analogy you used when you used yourself as an example, as somebody who is generally naturally kind. You see, so it doesn't matter. It's not because you're looking for anything, but that's just who you are. It doesn't matter if it's somebody you know or somebody you don't know. How practically, what are some practical steps that people can take, or in case in view you're ladies, because you're a guy now, giving some ladies, like, okay, you're giving us expo into how to position properly, but like, what are some ways? Is it like I'm just going to what are some ways, I don't want to put words in your mouth, for us to really know? Because I also heard you say that on a good day, or ideally, and I love that you put a disclaimer to it, 2 years is enough for both of us as adults to know what we are doing with ourselves. If in 2 years we don't know, it's like, what are you playing? So we're like, in those 2 years, what are some practical ways that we can use in knowing? Because again, whether you say it to a lady, it's the same thing for the guys as well. They also need to know the person that they are involved with. How do they know?
Okay, so I won't want to. I will continue to activate my disclaimer. So
I
I
like
won't
it.
want to say, because the thing is that there are some things of being realistic. And because if I myself, I'm still single, you understand? No, I'm single, like I'm not married, but I have someone that we're working things together, we're on a journey, you understand? So it has to do with, all I can say is that if personally for me, if there's somebody I like, it just has to be obvious. Nothing hides away from it. Now, and why I've separated myself from others is because I'm a naughty guy to the level that if it is not love, I will tell you it is lost. And that practical.
Mm,
I will tell you this is it. So it's not about, are you interested or you are not. I'm that down to earth. I won't want to put, because it takes a
Ah,
lot of commitment to. Why are you laughing, Grace?
I'm like, wow. It's just like telling someone, I'm just like imagining the lady now. Yeah, saying that, "See, I don't love you. What I feel is really love." and
Yeah.
No, it's not like no.
One thing I've come to
Really, you didn't
understand.
say it like
no,
that.
no, 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 no,
Wow.
no, no. I'm just
Are
saying.
you
I'm just
serious?
saying that
Why
if
should I not? I'll tell you. No, why?
are
Because
you serious,
I've come to understand
it's
that if a
better.
lady likes you,
It's
she
better.
likes you. If a lady likes you, she likes you. You
At least
understand?
she's
Mm.
informed. She knows.
Yeah,
But
she's
have you been in a
informed.
situation where you really liked someone and you actually show them, but you've not told them that you love them? Have you been in that? I mean, in that situation, you didn't
So
tell them. Like now, it's so easy for you to tell somebody because you know that this person. I know that I may not be with this person long term, but have you ever been with someone? So sorry if I'm putting you on the spot, but is it something that you know? Okay, let me not say you now, but do you think that some people might actually be in a relationship and because they are on a journey, and they want to know because they know that this love of a thing is when we're into it as we're going, that's when we'll really know. Would you rather say that I'll wait instead of just jumping to telling them that I love you, I want to be with you, or would you rather date them to a level where you now give them that particular information? Which one do you think is better, telling them from the beginning or telling them as you journey along?
okay, so I hope I got the question right, but I will try and answer to my understanding. So as I
Do
said,
you want
what
me to
works for
repeat
me?
the question quickly?
Please repeat it again. I think that's better.
All right, so you're in a relationship with somebody, and it's coming off from the example you gave. That, you can tell someone that, look, I really do not feel you like that. I'm attracted to you on a superficial level. It was easy for you to tell them because you knew right in your mind that you will not have anything really to do with this person. So, in that same manner, can you tell someone, or would you rather tell someone that you know that potentially you like this person and you might have this person long term? Would you tell the person from the beginning that, look, I really fancy you, I really, really love you? Or would you rather chill to help them get it when you know them? Because when you start knowing some people's characters and I mean some things about some people, that initial love you will start, the volume may now start reducing. So
Sure.
would you tell them in the beginning, or would you rather tell them, or would you rather wait to let them know as you journey along?
Okay, so the way it works for me is that I believe in friendship before relationship, at least to an extent. That's one. Then two, there are times where people tick some boxes from the onset, but you must
Mm.
also still give it time. You understand? So I believe in friendship. I don't easily tell people I just love them. That's why before I will tell you that I love you, you must. It
Your
means
Methuselah go be
They
like this.
don't
no,
pass, they
yeah.
don't pass marking scheme. So you see why how relevant this question is. Because some people might be
It
feeling
means,
bad if you don't tell them from the very
but
beginning.
no, no, no. But
But
the street is not
again,
smiling. The street is not smiling because this is the trap some guys still set. The street is not
Mm.
smiling. This is the trap some guys set, and they start telling you, you yourself too, you have to face reality. How do you just love me like that?
Know
Haba.
somebody 1 week.
You understand? So
exactly. That's what I wanted
the
to say.
street is
Like,
not
this is a
smiling.
no-brainer.
Mohammed put up
Love no
a
be.
So
very long message, but I'm not seeing it. It came up and okay, that's it. All right, go ahead.
okay, so the street is not smiling. So I why it's easy for me to, there are times where, oh, there are people that I put like, oh, we can't date. Maybe it's just a
Mm.
fling. There are people like, oh, I think I see a prospect here. Why don't we continue as friends and all that? And at that point in time, I'm not putting the agenda of intimacy. I can tell you that one for free. You understand? Now, there are times where there's something between you and someone, and it's just a fling because if you now go graduate to relationship, you know that this person may not meet your demands because whether you like it or
Mm.
not, relationship is demanding. For example, maybe for example now at friendship level, there's a way you dress, and I'm like, okay. But at relationship level, you are representing me. There's a way you dress. I'll be like, madam, you can't go out like this. And I know that this
Mm.
person, and I know that this person may not want to comply
Mm.
because
Mm.
for personally at my level, for my person, anytime I meet someone, I always want to see how I can impact the person. What's up with life? How do you want to do it? There are times where you can relate such with a lady, and the lady is like, Egbeni, are you my
I bet
father?
not they rush me. Not they rush me.
Not be even
So,
rushing. No, this one not be even rushing matter. It's just like, are you
I'm
trying
just
to control me? Are you trying to tell
I
me what
try,
to
daddy.
do?
meanwhile, I don't, and at that point in time, not as if I really have any interest, but you're already seeing that person wants to be free. And who are you? So this person now that wants to, do you now want to now tell the person of relationship? You get so there's that aspect of at fling level, those parts are easy. You people are able to manage each other. You understand? At times, you know that this person, if you want to start making demands, you're like, okay, what's up? Are you going to do this? Because I myself, at times, I put pressure on myself. There are times I talk to myself and say, if you know they try, you need to do double up. You need to reach out to life. You need to do certain things. And if I know that you yourself, if there are times, okay, like for example, now there was a lady that at some point, at first when we started at the flinging level, I never considered, but at the time where I really like her vibes, whatever thing, I was not like, okay, considering, you understand? But when I was putting certain discussions, you understand, at that friendship level, don't you think you should do this? Don't you think? And you are not seeing the person back out. You know that if you not take it at relationship level, you put high demands. You will be like, oh, you need to do this. You don't want to start all those this thing. Not forgetting that at times there are other some criteria that you have put, but you are trying to be flexible with it. So if you're not like, I'm being flexible with this my normal criteria, and there's still this additional thing, I have to no, I'm not ready to. But you are also like, if this person had met this criteria, I'd be like, okay, fine, we'll
Every other
manage.
thing can go.
You understand? You understand? There are people that I've actually met that I actually wanted something serious, and I was sincere down to it. You understand? And it was like, okay, at that friendship level, but let me know, like, it didn't work. It didn't work. It could only stay at the flinging level. Flinging level is
Friendship level.
intimacy, and is and there. Because if you are in a situation where you're with someone and you guys can't really communicate deep,
Mm. You can't hold a
it's an issue.
conversation. What's
You
there?
understand?
Like, what are you doing? Go, go.
Yes, you can't hold that conversation. But you can also have someone that you go, okay, you can be intimate with someone, but not intimate.
Uh-uh. Please
I don't know if that makes any
dissect,
sense.
discuss.
Explain. Break it down and
Okay.
break it to granule.
Okay. So when I mean intimate with someone but not intimate, I mean that you can be intimate with someone where that person knows everything about you, you know everything about that person, but you are not even sexually involved yet.
I
There's
got you.
that, there's
True.
that, there's that,
Absolutely.
there's that, that
Emotional
person may not have,
intimacy, but not physical intimacy. More
yeah,
like
where
It's
you people
beyond
can almost,
emotional. No, at that point, it's beyond emotional. It's more intellectual as well.
it may even
all.
be intellectual. In fact, it's intellectual, it's spiritual, it's everything. You people can even you people can discuss things without fear of what you're discussing.
Mm.
You understand? But yet you've never had. In fact, the sex will just be a consolidation. At that level, even at distance, this thing, you can even be more or less like you won't even know when you are probably showering in the person's presence, you're on video call, you are just talking, discussing. The person, because even the Bible says something, say perfect love casts fear, meaning that you are recklessly abandoning your weaknesses to that person without considering,
You're
without having any fear.
vulnerable. You can be vulnerable in front of
Yes,
that person. You're vulnerable.
you can. And you can discuss whatever thing you want to discuss. You can discuss your
Without fear
habits. You
of
can discuss
judgment.
whatever. So yes, that's intimate without being intimate. So that deeper intimacy is very, very important.
Mm.
See, let me tell you something. Let me not lie for you. If a guy loves you,
Tell- mm.
even this sex thing, he won't be bothering himself about it. My
Eshe,
opinion, oh, I'll put my
eshe,
disclaimer.
I agree.
I agree.
I
That's
I
agree.
agree.
No, but
I've been with a girl
and
that
it's
I've been
good.
with a girl that sex didn't matter to me. Like, I'm like, this sex, don't be waiting with the collect here and there. It didn't like Not be waiting
And you
person they
really
collect
like
here,
her.
collect there. So why
And
do I have that criteria? Yes, now.
you
Yes.
really like her.
Yes, now. See, if you don't, uh, see, you see. As I said, though, it can be on my point. I'm saying this that if you want to do your sex stuff, yes, whatever thing, you understand. Though if you are a Christian, you shouldn't be involved in premarital sex. That's another day's discussion. But my point is that don't let a person threaten you or cajole you. If you want to do it with your mind. But don't let anybody put that as a condition, as a way of manipulation to get you to do what you don't want
Yeah.
to do.
Mm,
The
mm,
idea
mm,
of
Yeah,
mm.
you
absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
What a
And
fantastic
why, one of the things
conversation.
I would agree with yeah, yeah, very interesting. And let me just quickly add to what Efe said. You know,
Mm.
most times we look at these things from the moral aspect that do not, but at the end of the day, from what he has said, and it makes sense, it's starting from the superficial to the inner part, which should be from the inner part to the superficial most times, ideally. So when people say that, well, it doesn't. If somebody will tell you that he met his wife, he slept with his wife the night. It was his wife was a one night stand, and they are 27 years married till tomorrow. So
Mm.
different strokes for different folks, right? So this is just, but I think it makes more sense because in the marriage,
Yeah, it's
you will not be having
different
sex
strokes for different
247.
folks. True. True.
Yeah.
The only thing about it is that there's what you call the norms. There's what you call the odds. So what's the odd that happens in every 10 relationships, and out of 10, 9 works out that way. You understand? So
True,
there's
true. I
what
like
you
that. I
call
like the way you put
So
it.
it's the
it's a one
exception.
yeah. So
It's one out of many.
I'm not disputing. Yeah, so you can't there
Yeah,
are
but
some
I
things that you
agree.
can't put. Let me not lie for you. Let me not lie for you. At times, why some of us are even still single is because we've tasted, we've tasted so much that what
It don't
probably
dey
we're in
dirty
now
comot.
doesn't look. If you want to be sincere,
It has to be deeper. I truly love this conversation.
if you
Not
want
the
to be
one man
sincere,
say.
if you want to be
I like, you know
sincere,
what, you know
we've
one thing I
tasted.
like about you with Efe, you be correct guy. No, you come clean, and I like him. No, I like him because I know they like to the package. The package you don't too much
E
for this
get
life.
one
That
thing
make
wey
people
e
see the
wan
fall
drop
for.
now now.
That make
Uh,
people see the fall for one chance.
so
Please drop it, drop it.
it's I'm of the opinion, and the way I live my life with my relationship with God is that I don't see things as God just say don't do, don't do. I don't see it that way. I try to think deeper. So I believe at times he says don't do this, like the way a parent will say don't do this, not because of I don't do it, but because there's a consequence for doing it. Now, if you look at it, when he says don't do fornication or whatever thing, in literal terms, is to save you. You find out that there are a lot of women who are in their matrimonial home, but the emotional commitment they have made to their ex sexually affects them in their present home today.
No be lie.
It's a reality. Please, I am not gender biased. It also works against men.
Yeah.
A man will just remember that particular lady, get the way the style
Feel
dey.
better.
Oh, let me just you will not be bringing that talk. I wanted to actually marry you, but there was this thing that happened. The parent of this new girl forced me. This now the sex. Now the sex they worry the guy. I'm not talking of where that new ones, like the same way I said over this number of 10. But if you check it at times, I guess some of my guys now, okay, how far? They will tell you the truth. You get the one, this, I don't miss that one. Now, if everybody was having new experiences with their present husband and wife, would they be wahala of what we used to in Egypt.
There will be nothing
Now,
to
I'm not,
compare with.
yes, at times, yes, some of those experiences, past experiences, can be of advantage, but when you now have a case of numerous experiences, the knowledge feel come too much for the one way you can't settle down with.
You go come choke.
You carry 10 scheme of work, and this girl just sabi 2 scheme of work. Wahala come dey. So these are some of the difficulties that at times we face in our journey of singlehood. The reality be told. That's what some of us guys have become wiser. Some ladies have had more experience. Okay, for example, an average 18-year-old girl or an average 25-year-old girl may have dated a guy that is 10, 15 years older than her. Now, if she was 25 and she has dated someone, because I met a lady that was in her late 20s. It was just fling that was within us, late 20s. And she said it is just of recent she started dating guys in 30s. So me, I was like, in her mind, I be small boy.
You, what do you know? Who you?
Okay, see number one.
I had a cousin who was in her early 20s, and at some point, that was before, I was eyeing her friend. So I was not like, me too, I didn't want to start going after your friend, meant to not be as if this Agbalagba. And she can't claim me, see, we used to talk with men older than you.
Yeah.
So she's trying to tell you, say, Uncle Efe.
Yeah,
Don't
small boy.
pass your level.
You're late to the party, bro. You're late to the party.
Don't pass your level. All this way you are thinking you are coming to date my friend, and you think my friend is a small girl. You're using that small, the eye that you are using to rate me, you're using to rate my friend. Well, pass your level. You understand? So
Wow.
if there's such a lady, and at times, let me not lie, the street is not smiling. So some ladies tend to be unfortunate, meeting the wrong person. Some are fortunate to meet the right person and all that, and still goes vice versa. You understand?
I love it. I
So it's a
love it.
crazy
I love what you just
situation.
said there. Yeah. That's the consequences of doing what we're said not to do before time, because these are the baggages that they bring that comes along with the experience. And the truth is, most people don't even sit down to now evaluate and say, okay, how can I deal with it? Or, if there is even a thing to, I think that's why we have coaches and even therapists. You have sex therapists now that can help you more like untie the ties that you have had based on experiences or past experiences. So you don't carry those past experiences to your present reality. And you are so correct. And this is something that has caused a lot of troubles in families, because like you said, one is experience, one is not. When you look at people who they began together, like both of them were the first experiences they had, it's difficult because there's nothing for them to compare with. As a matter of fact, some of them might not even till they finish, till they do them part, they might not even know what else exists, except maybe they watch television or something and say, let's try that if both of them are open. Do you understand? Say, but otherwise, it's like if one is more experienced and they don't get to that deep level you talked about, where they can be both vulnerable, because this is another thing that I've seen happen. One is experienced, one is not, and especially it's even worse for the women. For the men, it's like it's normal now. Mark, I have multiple girlfriends, fine. But for women, it's like, you only you want. How many people? Now, if the woman is more experienced, it is a difficult thing if they do not grow to that point where they can be that bare with themselves to talk about anything. It's difficult for the girl to now say, Oga, try like this now. I was gonna say, hey, where you learn from? Now, and so that fear of being judged makes her keep quiet. She's not being satisfied. She cannot tell this person, no, that's not how I like it. This is how I like it. And then they start to they start to they'll now start to have resentment. This one don't do I don't go. This one sit there hanging. It can't be compilation. It will can't become transferred aggression on another matter. Like this matter is very deep, but I like that you brought that up, So let us come back to the fact that, see, so when we're talking about, oh, abstain, don't put sex first, it's not because sex is not sweet. It's not because anybody wants to stop you from enjoying yourself. But it's like, see, the consequences is actually more than the enjoyment. The consequences involved is more than the enjoyment, because you're going to enjoy this one now 5 minutes today, then 10 years later you are still battling the consequences of what you did 10 years ago. So what's the point?
I used to say, if all exes or if all ladies' exes were their neighbors, married ones, all good boss. You get, so yeah, so it's dicey. It's dicey and it's really very sensitive. Like, it's dicey and it's sensitive.
Right.
So what now happens is that when two people come together, the journey is now discussing these issues. These are hidden issues
Yeah.
that
Right.
impact a relationship. They are hidden issues. My present girlfriend can practically have a discussion with me and say, okay, how are you coping? What are you doing? So these are openness conversations. Like the other time we were discussing and she was like, okay, what are you I'm like, it's not easy, you understand? So I can openly tell her, you understand, that, almost not being easy. And the way it's been going is like, maybe at some point, because the truth of the matter is this: if you want to overcome something, God actually helps you. The issue is, do you even agree
Are
you
you
want to go
really,
through that
really
journey?
want to overcome
Now
it?
let me explain
No.
how at times some of those help comes. So there could be a time where you are very strong. I know they do. You do your this thing, go party, you go, you do whatever thing, you won't go and shark, you just come back to your room, do whatever thing, and you are okay. Maybe that time you'll not be receiving messages. In fact, the day you choose you don't want to, that is the time the temptations will come. Messages that you would see, messages, how far are you in town, all those kind of things and all. So that period you are strong. Now the day you are not strong, they are like, I cannot hold it. Guess what? That's the period that other person will not be ready or something will happen. I don't know if you get what my point is. Either maybe the person is not in the mood, or the person has traveled, or the person is in a period. Is that you just be like, yeah, thank God though. So that period of weakness. So this thing, this those times has to come at the same frequency. You are ready and available. This person is ready and available. So it's possible when you are ready and available, this person is not ready and available. When this person is ready and available, you are not ready and available. So that's what disrupts it. And God can help you that way. But the issue is, do we even want to be helped? We just want to, it's a journey. And me, when I say my things, I say practicable. It is fact. It is not motivational, this thing, be on hype and whatever thing. It is a fact. You understand? So will I tell my girlfriend that, no, I've been this thing almost happened though, but this is how it happened and all that. I mean, this had fine. And there's that openness of conversation. Could you make some mistakes? Yes, you can. Would you make some mistakes? Yes, you will. You understand? But are you willing to go through that journey? Like, for example, we all go with this thing, all men must cheat, whatever thing. Well, for me, I feel that those are all men have those tendencies. We still have a choice, you understand? But I used to ask a question. If there's a water or a river that says once you bathe inside this river, you will automatically stop cheating, how many men will go and bathe inside that river?
We jump inside it.
So they like it.
Don't mind them. It's only water sweet, oh.
Well, we should
It
just
is
take
sweet to drink,
one
oh.
bottle of alcohol. One bottle. If you drink that bottle, one full bottle like this, all your cheating capabilities will
We
disappear. You
die.
just focus on one woman. How many? So the
If we
same
don't
effort
come
we
out
put
here
towards
today, we
success.
continue this
We
debate.
know come out here.
The gist is
A
sweet.
fantastic conversation you did, and I love that, Ife. You are very, very plain and on what's the word now? Like, I love your disclaimers are there, but at the same time you're a very plain person, and that's what makes your conversation interesting and very practical. Because now see, it's not about forming.
Mm.
All of us they face temptation every now and then. It's about the posture of your heart to say, what am I doing? First of all, to put boundaries in place. Number two, what am I doing to ensure that even at those points where I fall, I'm able to jump back. I have accountability systems where I'm able to report myself and stay under authority. That's what we're saying. Like if there was a river, will you jump into it? Because if that desire is there is help available if you want to, stay the right way and optimize your singlehood. There is nothing wrong with being single, and there's nothing wrong with having urges. You are a human being. It's okay. But how do you deal with it? That's the question. So you are up to that point where you're able to at least have that self-control. I was saying that, and that's why I feel like when you said 2 years, it's true, because how long can you self-control yourself reach after 2 years? It takes the grace of God. You understand? So you people should know, and especially if you're in the active relationship, you people should know where you're going, what you're doing, and so that you can take it to the next level. But thank you so very much. And thank you, Gracie, for holding the forte today. I wish I not come up at all, but the matter too sweet. I say, I'll go come, I'll go put mouth, I'll shook mouth on this matter. It's too sweet. Thanks to everyone who joined the conversation today. We hope you enjoyed it. Again, next week we are hoping we're going to be able to get a couple this time around. The people that have been licensed to do and undo, how are they doing? Would love to know. Are they doing the do, or is the doing them? We hope we hope we find a couple who come up with their gist to come and talk to us about love. But if we don't, I'm sure we'll figure out something. But thank you so much. If
we'll get a couple, and they will be on here next.
I trust you, Gracie. I trust you, Gracie. So please, your final words as to say goodbye. Bye, everyone.
All right.
Yeah. Bye. Take care. Have a lovely day.
All right, guys. Take care. Yeah. Bye.
Yeah.